So we're going to start off with like a very quick conversation about what is project-based learning according to you. So what we're going to do is just give you like half a minute, maybe 1 minute to speak to someone next to you, and then we'll just go around the room, quickly share what our thoughts are, and then we'll set the context and followed by Parminder, who's going to be leading a workshop on experiential learning. Is that okay? We're all okay with that? Okay. So what is project-based learning according to you? That's the question that you have that you've got to discuss and share with all of us. Talk to a partner about it, and then we do a whole group. Talk to the person next to you. Talk to the person next to you. All right, ready? Who would like to go first? Ma'am, your mic is already on, so you will go first. It seems to be on, so go ahead, go ahead. If you have some, if you have a thought. So real world projects with some choice and driving student engagement, which drives student engagement. Okay, fantastic. Who would like to add on or share something different? Ma'am, you want to share something? There should be some button somewhere.
Hare Krishna. I feel, with my partner is discussing right now, we feel the project-based learning is almost connected with experiential learning. Here, it's kind of a teamwork. So naturally, the students, some may be very good, some may be supporting learners. So in our school, we do project learning. We team up with the students who are very good in sports, not very good in academics, and those good in academics and not good in sports. So we team them up, and that's how we build up a project with the topic taken from the textbook itself. Yes, and integrating not just one subject, but integrating the other subjects together. That's the project learning.
So interdisciplinary as well as getting a range of students together to work on curriculum topics. Okay, fantastic. Thank you, ma'am. Someone would like to share?
Okay, hi everyone. So after the entire discussion we had among the group, all of us are definitely in favor of project-based learning, and 2-3 points that we would like to cover is, one, it helps with a lot of identification of each child's skill. It helps with teamwork, and in today's world, learning happens outside the books, right? So anything that gives you a hands-on experience on learning certain concepts that are there in your textbooks, I think it makes a lot of difference in your entire learning process.
All right, so skill-based, hands-on, and you learn at a much better, with much better engagement and quality. All right, great. So, you want to add something? You want to add?
No, nothing more. Just
you could elaborate on the difference of project-based learning and experiential. Is there an overlap? Is it two different things we're talking of?
Confidence. Yes, a lot of confidence to it.
Absolutely. So a lot of confidence comes in if you're doing this. So in fact, the question sir is asking is difference between project-based learning and experiential learning, and that's a great question because we're going to be our workshop coming up next is going to be on experiential learning. But in the course of this track, we're going to be progressing and understanding what project-based learning will look like. And ma'am earlier, she said, they're moving towards real-world problems, real-world projects. Is there a driving question? Now, those are things that can differentiate. But I'm going to hold on to the answer for now, and we'll get to that as we go through this workshop.
So first and foremost, we're about 18 of us here. And I got reminded of a time when we were doing a similar alumni workshop. Stanford had spent 30 lakhs for 100 people to come into the room. And only 18 or 19 showed up. And we were left with the end of the stick that where is everyone else? But mind you, the conversations we had that day, those 18, 19 people became my closest friends as opposed to just sharing a couple of thoughts with 100 of them. This is the ideal classroom size, which what we recommend for our international schools. 18 is the perfect number. Let's try to make the most out of this experience. We have some wonderful sessions lined up. And before we hand over to Parminder to take us through and kickstart the journey, we have General Kulkarni's number here. So we're giving that out. That's a free perk of this as well. So now here you will have all of the questions that come up to your mind while Parminder is speaking or before the fireside chat. Please pop it in. And we would like to take not all, but as many as we can in the fireside chat, which is coming up at 12:30. Right? So now, just as a plug through what will happen throughout the course of the day, I've kept out some of the project-based materials that I've brought for later on right here. Everyone will be given a kit that's reserved for an afternoon session, and we'll be actually making the project that you have in front of you in 25 minutes. Right? So that's something that we will demonstrate that we can do. And then tomorrow again, the theme continues with Vardan getting some brilliant ideas, what they've been doing at their school. So all of these we will do by hand, but we wanted to kick things off by a solid foundation, getting to know each other as we engage in that conversation. And then we move on towards doing things with our hand as well. But keep participating, keep raising your hands and speaking. Be the learners as you want it to be. We're starting out with some very firm work, very firm context building. And then we move on to the other aspects of the pragmatics, right? So over to you, Vardan, to introduce.
All right, so just to give a very short introduction to Parminder, who's going to take up the workshop on experiential learning. So he's the founder of Disha India Community School, and he's going to talk about the fantastic work that Disha has been doing. They are deep into outbound expeditions and learning by Gandhian principles. The importance of experiential learning, which I spoke about, is going to come up very shortly, and it's an essential part. I mean, it's the starting point of any progressive education. So that's something that we have to start with, looking at how do we make our education contextual, and that's something that Parminder is going to talk about. Incidentally, we've also, Disha has done work with our school as well, and many schools across India, and then they've done some fantastic work. I mean, the kind of learning that happens when a trip is planned in as thorough detail as I mean they do it is fantastic. I mean the level of learning goes to a next level altogether. So that's something that we will know. And of course it's not limited only to trips, but it's also about how you can engage students even within your school, within the city also in deeper learning. So over to you, Parminder.